Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's VC Task Force Gary's Picks event for investors and startups. My name is Joel Rosenberg, Director of Business Development and Strategy for VC Task Force. VC Task Force is an organization where the venture community comes together to address critical issues, provide workshops, and other events for the benefit of the venture and entrepreneurial communities. VC Task Force provides access to an extensive ecosystem of VCs, corporate VCs, and angel investors. You may ask questions anytime during the event, and time permitting, they will be answered live after today's interview. It is my pleasure to welcome Gary's Picks host, Gary Fowler. Gary is CEO and co-founder of GSD Venture Studios, an award-winning growth stage AI venture studio. Gary is also co-founder of the award-winning AI startup Viva.ai, as well as the investment firm DY Investments. Today, Gary will be interviewing special guest, Jonathan Chester, co-founder and CEO of Bitwage. Bitwage is an international payroll and invoicing platform that delivers wages faster, cheaper, and easier access borders via the Bitcoin blockchain. With over 3 years of reliable payroll and invoicing operations, Bitwage has processed over $30 million in transactions and has over 18,000 users. Bitwage helps companies pay their international workforces and receive international invoices faster, cheaper, and easier than banks and typical financial services. Bitwage levers the Bitcoin blockchain to deliver funds into bank accounts and digital wallets around the world. Since joining blockchain ecosystem in 2013, Jonathan has been featured in Los Ecos, Entrepreneur magazines, and Quartz, has consulted members of the European Parliament, Dutch banks and regulators, and the California Senate regarding regulation of the blockchain industry, and has been a featured speaker at numerous industry conferences. Take it away, Gary.
Great. Thanks, Joe. Great to have you here, Jonathan. Thanks, June. And as Joe said, my name is Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've been involved in 17 startups and several unicorns. I was on the original management team of Click Software, sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Viva.ai. I love artificial intelligence, generative AI, and quantum computing, and have been dabbled in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course, the blockchain, because I'm interested in blockchain, how we can make this world a safer and better place. So with that, Jonathan, I have a question for you. It's good to have you here today. So you went to school in Santa Barbara. Did you enjoy it?
You know, it was almost like staying at a hotel on the beach. It's a beautiful campus, right? You have your courses literally 3 blocks away. So I remember studying on the beach in between classes. I loved it there. Great university.
And so when you were there, where are you from originally?
I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So within California.
Not too far away. So you went to the French Laundry as an intern. Now, I got a question. What did you learn? You were preparing vegetables, meat, and pastries. What did you learn? What were the lessons learned from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the key lessons learned there is actually how to produce things with quality but fast, right? Instead of nitpicking over every little, let's say, peach square that you build out, you go quickly. You work with what are the best pieces, and then you keep going, right? That was an important lesson for, to input into my entrepreneurial journey.
So what made you decide to do an internship at the French Laundry? Did it one day you just wake up and say, yo, I got my Bachelor of Arts in economics. It's time for me to learn how to prepare food.
I would say it was more of a hobbyist thing. I grew up always cooking with my mom. My mom would always teach me, different kinds of Chinese food. And I kind of thought this would be a really cool thing to just apply for and spend some time. It was really actually between college semesters that I was doing this. But yeah, that was the thing is, I love great food. I want to learn how to make great food and host parties for me and my friends, dinner parties, that is, right?
Wow, that's fantastic. So then you go to Dewey Wind. Now, how in the world did you go from that, from cooking to Dewey Wind as a project development intern?
Wow, you really analyzed my LinkedIn here. So my dad is in the renewable energy industry. So growing up, I always learned a lot about it. He's like a lawyer who helps with project finance around getting utility grade renewable energy farms. So he thought that it would be, an interesting way for me to get my feet wet. And obviously, climate change is on everyone's minds, and who doesn't want to try and be part of the solution? So I joined as a developer, a renewable energy developer, which is the people who put everything together to actually get the wind farm live. Not like in the tech industry, like a software developer might be. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Okay, so then you go from that to project development. You become a financial analyst intern. So what made you decide to spin up on that? She said, "Oh, I'm kind of sick of all this project development. I'm going to do finance now because I want to get that done."
Yeah. So let's see, on project development, right? The key thing there is I was actually calling up like government agencies to understand what are the transmission lines, connecting, electricity in different states to figure out what's the best place to actually create a utility grade wind farm. And actually my recommendations eventually got used as an intern there, which was really cool. But, I always found finance to be a lot more interesting of a subject around how money works and how money moves. And so I really wanted to hop in there. And I was able to get the opportunity. The crazy thing for this internship was I was studying at Santa Barbara, but the internship was in San Diego, and there was no remote work back then. Luckily, I had, this is my senior year, I didn't have any classes Thursday and Friday. So every Wednesday after classes, I was driving from Santa Barbara to San Diego, 4-hour car ride to do 2 days of internship work there before coming back.
Wow, that's great. Well, you were committed to it.
I was.
Okay, so I got that, but then why in the world did you go to Oracle to do an account manager job? What made you decide to jump into Linux and VM account management?
So, and this was really a sales job, even though it was called an account manager. But essentially, I got a full-time job offer for this finance role at the renewable energy company. But I basically thought that even though I found finance to be a very interesting role in and of itself, the opportunities of going to Silicon Valley and being part of the tech industry seemed much wider. So I wanted to widen my opportunities and my network. And I said, okay, let's go and do this. And I ended up landing in the open source area of Oracle, which was great because then I got to learn about all different kinds of open source technologies, which you could say led me to cryptocurrency eventually.
Okay, so you did that. I got that. Okay, now you do InWage. I can get that. It's blockchain development at your fingertips. But how in the world did you go to the Foundation for Fighting Blindness as a strategic counsel for finance? I mean, you go from cooking, you go to Oracle, and what did you just say? Okay, I want to change the world, and they got $800 million raised. I want to go down through and help. What was that about?
I mean, you have to go really far back in time for that. I was probably 7 years old when I found out my mom was going blind from retinitis pigmentosa, and from that age, I had basically been volunteering for the foundation. I was the little kid selling tickets to people at the silent auctions, and at wine tastings or at the, dining in the dark events. So, and I created a club at my high school. They have this thing called the Vision Walk, which is a large event that happens around the world. And I brought the first Vision Walk into Santa Barbara for the organization. And so I kind of naturally ended up, through my support and effort of the organization, getting invited to be part of this strategic council that helps, it's basically like a volunteer innovation group for the organization.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's go forward. So you go in 2014. You've been out Bitwage for a long time. And from Palo Alto, so I know you're in Miami. How long were you in Palo Alto?
Let's see. So we were in the Bay Area, from 2014 until the beginning of last year. So 2021 is when I left and moved to Miami. Technically, the company is still there, and I'm the only one here. We're a remote first company. Our workers are globally distributed. We have, I think, one person in San Francisco, and we're really all over the place. And so, we really actually leverage our own technology and our own customer. But yeah, I left San Francisco in 2021. I was part of that Exodus movement. I had a daughter in 2020, and the 1-bedroom apartment that we were in started to get a little cramped. So it's like, okay, how should we, how do we go from this? Do we want to rent a 2-bedroom or buy a 3-bedroom in Miami? And that was, an easy answer on top of, all the other benefits of being in Miami. But that was the instigation.
How do you like it there compared to California?
I love Miami. I mean, to some degree, it's hard to compare because over here I live in the center of things. Over there, I lived, by the ocean, which is actually far away from the center of things in San Francisco because it's so cold. So I love that it's so easily connected to everything, and I'm a really big fan of the non-aggressive homelessness around. San Francisco has way too aggressive homeless people. But I gotta say, I miss the Asian food. They had great Asian food in San Francisco.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's, down south too in the Bay Area, man, oh man, I go to my favorite Vietnamese restaurant or my favorite Thai. It's real Thai food. In fact, it's one of those places where you can't tell them that you want it really hot or nothing good's gonna happen. Because they have 2 degrees. It goes from, they got 1 to 5 for normal people. And then people that are used to the hot, it's a whole different deal. So they got another Thai hot, they call it. And I tried it one time and you can't eat it. I couldn't eat it anyhow. It was so hot. So tell me a little bit about, so, you joined the blockchain ecosystem in 2013, got a lot of visibility. There's been a lot of ups and downs and ins and outs with crypto. But of course, with the current world conditions, I'm sure it's going to grow. So how did you come up with the idea for Bitwage? And you're the most popular blockchain payroll, for HR and invoicing. But how did you come up with it? Did you one day wake up and say, "Oh, I think I want to go down through, and I want to make sure that I have blockchain integrated into this crypto payment system worldwide"? Did it just happen overnight, or did you did you go down through and spend a few years thinking about it? How did it come about?
Sure. And before going too deep into that, I want to revise the numbers that were mentioned in the beginning, because we've actually processed $250 million, have over 60,000 registered users, not 30 million and 15,000. So I just wanted to, make sure those numbers were known. But yeah, so how did we come up with the idea? Me and my co-founder, we met each other because we were obsessed Bitcoin guys at Oracle, and people that were like, these 2 guys need to meet each other because they're crazy. They're telling us to buy this weird magic internet money thing, and we don't understand what that is. And so we got together and we saw that Bitcoin and perhaps derivatives of Bitcoin, which is now cryptocurrency, would be an integral part of our global financial systems. And we could see that there were wallets for you to hold your money, exchanges for you to purchase crypto. There were merchant processors for you to spend it, but there's actually no part of the ecosystem that, once the crypto was in the hands of the merchants, got it back into the workers. So there wasn't a fully closed loop for cryptocurrency to exist. And we said, this is a problem that's going to need to be solved. Let's be the first ones to do it, right? And the first iteration of this was, it was very crypto-y. It was people in the US receiving a part of their salary in Bitcoin. But what it's what we ultimately saw happening is there were people all over the world who were actually, instead of getting 5 or 10% of their salary in Bitcoin, they get 100% of their salary in Bitcoin. We said, okay, why is this?
How much was it gone at those days? What was the value of Bitcoin then?
Oh, it's probably like $300. Yeah.
Wow. I bet those people are very happy today.
Yeah, they're loyal customers.
Right.
But yeah, so what we tried to investigate, why were these people doing this? And we realized that there is this like global workforce payment problem where it's actually very hard for people for companies to pay their workforces and for the workers to receive their money, because it can take days, or if the money gets lost, weeks. They get ripped off by bad exchange rates and fat fees. There can sometimes be bureaucracy involved where they have to go like to the bank and actually show paperwork to get access to the money. So there's lots of really, really terrible inefficiencies. So okay, well let's try to solve that problem. And that's how we, I guess you could call it a pivot or a new product, but we transformed it into this payroll HR engine that, one, makes it easier for people to just receive their salary in not just Bitcoin, but like digital dollars or their own local currency into their bank accounts, while simultaneously having a streamlined HR onboarding payroll process for the companies that are paying their global freelancers and contractors.
No, that's fantastic. And so, you've gone down through, you seem, you're really flexible, having gone through many companies. If you were to go out, what would you say the 3 top lessons learned in terms of building a company? What have you learned building your company that you didn't think about before?
What did I learn building my company that I didn't think about before?
Before you started your startup, what's different now?
Yeah. Well, I sometimes think to myself that I had even more insanity back then than I guess I have now, in that knowing what I know now, I might not have left my cushy job at Oracle to go full force on this thing, because when we left, we had nothing, right? We were fresh off the boat. We didn't really have any customers. We had like a beta product. We thought that we had sort of, applied to like several different accelerators and we get in all of them. And to show our commitment, we need to quit our jobs to get into them, right? Yeah. And we didn't get accepted into one, and then another. And then luckily we got accepted into the third, which was Plug and Play. One thing that I learned is that you want to have some kind of, competitive advantage when you're starting a company, right? Whether it's on the sales side, on the operations side, on the fundraising side, or on the tech side, right? But you want to make sure that you have one of these where you're confident that you can do better than everyone else, because in one of these 4 sectors, you have an advantage, right? That was an important lesson. Another important lesson is, so this is specific to the crypto industry, although maybe it's becoming more of a general industry thing, which is managing bank risk. So in the crypto industry, it's very common for you to like lose bank accounts. Not because the bank is.
What do you mean?
So like we're processing payroll, right? And we've actually gone through events in the past where a bank will say, we decided we don't want to work with a cryptocurrency company. Here's a letter, figure out how to get a new bank account in 3 months. You're going to get shut down, right? And so we've had to deal with this, like 20 times. We now have a solution in place so that we have redundancies across the board. We know exactly what we need to do to get a new account open. So it's all kind of streamlined and meant to minimally impact customers, so that and to be fair, even though we've done this 20 times, we've never had to not process payroll for a customer because of not having bank accounts. But managing that bank risk is important. And now we're seeing this today with like, all the bank closures, like not even just closing you because they decide they don't want to bank a cryptocurrency company, but because they literally go out of business, right? And so the managing the redundancy of your banking partners so that you can continue to operate every single day is crucial.
It sounds like. And so what are the goals? What are your goals over the next 5 years with the company?
Right. Yeah. So right now, we are like the tagline is we're the leading crypto, Bitcoin, payroll, and invoicing platform. But where I see us moving is, taking this advantage of like a faster transactions, flexible payments, better rates, and embedding it into this, global remote work phenomenon. So making sure that the system is now the system that you as a company need to seamlessly onboard anyone, to seamlessly pay anyone, no matter where they are, and to do it at a fraction of the price. And that's where we're building towards.
And so would you go down through and recommend it for we have startups from all over the world watch the show. Would you go down through the same journey, or would you have stayed with Oracle if you know what you do then, what you do now?
Oh, I mean, I love every single day, maybe not every day, but most days, I love what I'm doing. Right. And, like my company led to my wife. I met my wife at a blockchain conference. So I would not have a wife and children right now without this company. Yeah. But I love everything about it. I've been my own customer, and that's honestly been one of the best financial decisions of my life as well. But just even from an entrepreneurial perspective, right, being in control of my own journey and being able to lift myself up, lift my employees up, and lift my customers up is very, very rewarding, right? Much better than just sitting at a comfy job. I would have figured out a way to start my own business, no matter what. That's what I believe. I just might have taken more time to get there.
Well, it sounds like you've done an incredible job. I mean, you've taken this company, Bitwage, and has made the most popular blockchain payroll, HR, and invoicing solution in the planet. So it's incredible. And you've had a lot of visibility. You've done a great job with it. What's the future of the company? What are you going to do next?
Just thinking like really like on the short term, because I kind of talked more about the vision. I mean, we want to grow, obviously. I'm now looking to a fundraise, raising money to basically a Series A. We've been around for a while, but now I'm ready for that. So I'm looking for that, building everything out to that so that we can expand, we can grow, and we can meet that vision that I was talking about earlier.
Interesting. Well, you've done a phenomenal job. You were just a top 7 listed as a top 7 blockchain company. That's incredible. And so you won a lot of awards. What's the last award you got?
The last award I got?
Yeah. What kind of, you have a lot of recognition. You've been speaking at conferences, Viva, Paris FinTech, was SCAP, Transact 15. But and it sounds like you've got a lot of, I see that top 21 blockchain awards. You got a working with technology of the future. So, you got these awards. What were the awards for, and how you continue to innovate?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that was part of some kind of crypto blockchain contest from Medici. I can't quite remember what the exact Medici, but it's a publication. It's a startup publication. And right now I'm on a talking spree. We actually get emails all the time. It's like, oh, we want to feature you as like a top HR company, a top CEO in the tech industry. We get these emails all the time. And I know that we've, accepted a few of them recently. And like, top hot payroll, top hot HR, top CEO kinds of things. But, for me, it's all branding, right? And the big things that are coming up. I'm actually going to be speaking at this Bitcoin conference, Bitcoin 2023, on remote work. So I'd love anyone who has those tickets to come check that out. I'm sorry, I can't remember the.
No. You answered the question. I was just talking about the awards. So we're coming up to the top of the show. Closing thoughts, Jonathan, and how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, crypto payroll in and of itself is exploding, right? Especially in places like Latin America. We've seen reports come out, from these employer of record platforms, which are like platforms, payroll companies that are essentially paying workers globally, that there's demand in Latin America. Almost 70% of workers looking for this, right? When you look at it, there's almost, there's over $1 trillion of demand for crypto payroll today. Wow. So there's a huge market for this. And it's only going to continue and expand. This is not going anywhere, whether it's a CBDC that comes out, it's stable coins, or it's something like Bitcoin that comes out, and somehow forms stability, right? So this is not going anywhere, and you can come and check me out and Bitwage out at www.bitwage.com, at John Chest on Twitter, and you can also email us at founders@bitwage.com.
That's great. Thanks, Jonathan, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks, Joel, for inviting us today for another edition of Gary's Picks. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the host. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. Joel, any closing remarks?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for an excellent, and very timely interview. It's very, very good. And Jonathan, I just want to say it's great to see a fellow UCSB guy, alumni.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, totally. Everything you're saying about being close to the beach. Well, I was in engineering 1, and Friday afternoons, 4 p.m. in the lab, looking down out the window right onto the beach. Wish I was there, but anyway, I'm here now. So anyway, great to see you guys. Everybody stay well, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, take care now.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great, thanks.